Hey there. It is still for 2 more minutes, May 27th, 2015, Wednesday, Comic Day. In part one of this week's review, I reviewed the finale, the end of DC's Convergence event, and in this video, I'm going to review the rest of the books that I picked up this week, starting with Adventure Time number 40. One-shot issue. Not part of any arc. Well, definition of one-shot. Tells a cute little story, as most of these do. Finn and Jake are tasked with defending the very delicate egg people while they are having a party in the Candy Kingdom, and then Magic Man tries to... He's just Magic Man. He's a sabotagey, trickster, kind of a jerk. So he tries to sabotage them by granting the reader of the comic. This is kind of an interactive comic, and he grants the reader kind of a choice of 7 wishes that they can use to change the events of the comic. Of course, he cheats. Through the comic, you are led to one of the wishes through the use of math and mind games and whatever, because the comic can only have one ending. But if you're not really paying that much attention, it's still a pretty fun read. Still, like a lot of these Adventure Time comics, pretty good chuckles from the panels and also from the little things on the bottom, the little commentary on the bottom of each page. One that particularly jumped out at me from this issue was, let me just read it. I considered writing a forgot about Dre, forgot about Magic Man bit down here, but hoo boy, I just looked up the source material and talk about cusses. Yikes. Forgot about Dre, obviously a song not for the same audience that Adventure Time is aimed for, but yeah, pretty fun little Easter egg there for any older people reading the book will get the joke, like me. And yeah, just a cute little story. Not much else to say there. Backup story, also not that involved. It involves PB and Marceline trying to find Marceline's stolen base. Art is really good in this. I actually like the art a lot in this little backup story, especially these panels over here. This one in particular I think is very, very well done. But yeah, just kind of, not really amazing book, but cute little read. If you want just a little something, I guess, pick it up, but there's no big story reason why, and it's not incredible. It's not an incredible single issue on its own. Just kind of par for the course, I guess, for Adventure Time. Next up is Hawkeye issue 3, third issue of the Wunderkammer. I don't know German. That's just how I'm saying it. It sounds like it should be correct for me. The Wunderkammer arc. Little intro page here has some graffiti done by Kate and Clint. And yeah, we continue the arc, and over the last 2 issues, the Hawkeyes rescued some children who are superpowered weapons from from Hydra, delivered them to S.H.I.E.L.D. In this issue, they find out that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s motivations for taking the kids might not be entirely kosher, so the Hawkeyes decide to kidnap the kids back for themselves. And that's the main gist of the story, is the 2 Hawkeyes going through the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier and taking the kids back so they can keep the kids safe. We get a really good, I don't know, I've been seeing this sort of kind of fight scene in a lot of books recently. Mostly kind of Hawkeye, stuff like Moon Knight, stuff like that, but where each panel, it's almost like someone laid up a bunch of film strips one by one, or like a flip note animation or something. But seeing the action fold out one panel, it's like a flip show almost, or like, I guess, like a reel of film. Like I said, those were two really good analogies I used before. I don't know why I'm trying to explain more of them. But I always like when it's done. Gives you really good detail into kind of the stop motion of comic book movement. I really like it. And, you know, Katie's kicking ass over here, which is always a good thing. Unfortunately, weak point of this book is the flashbacks to this issue. Every page has just one row of flashbacks on the bottom, and they're really pretty. They're really fun to look at. They're really colorful and everything, but they don't contribute much to the actual story until the very last page, which is mostly flashback, and we actually find out, okay, so this is where Clint's past is going, or what we're seeing of Clint's past. We also get we also go back to the Brooklyn apartment from the Hawkeye run, catch up with Lucky, the dog. So, you know, things getting really, really comfy in Hawkeye's corner, and pretty good issue. And, you know, not like, I'm still like, the Matt Fraction Hawkeye still hasn't ended yet. The final issue still hasn't come out yet, so like I'm still, I guess, not over that run. This is starting to merge a bit more with the universe that Matt Fraction set up in that run, and I do want to see now how Jeff Lemire is going to balance his own story with kind of the overwhelming presence of the world that Matt Fraction created for this character. He seems to be doing a good job with it so far. Then again, we're only 3 issues in, so, you know, we'll see how it continues to go. But right now, I am liking this book. Next up, we have Red Sonja, last issue of the arc where Sonja learns to forgive. At the end of the last issue, Sonja was dying. And here we see Sonja basically fight death. Yeah, pretty much there's an incarnation of death. Looks a lot like Sonja, chainmail bikini and all that. And Sonja decides she's not ready to die. She's going to put up a fight. And meanwhile, as she's dying, news of her, of her state is kind of traveled around, and people are coming from all over the world to mourn her. Here's a fun page of the two fighting, of Sonja fighting off death. That's a pretty cool page, I thought, right there. But yeah, as she's dying, she has visitors, including the 7 kind of miraculous wonders of the world people from the previous arc, where each issue she went over and rescued one of them. They come along with everybody else, it seems, that she has had in improving the life of, and they all squeeze into this little pub to pay their respects to Red Sonja. So we have kind of that story of Sonja's funeral, I guess. Sonja fighting death and learning that she will in fact be mourned, that people care for her, and seeing how that changes her whole perspective on dying. Really emotional book. Of course, they're not actually going to kill Sonja, but it's interesting to see what this issue does with playing with the idea of death, and how that finality frames everything that came before it, and how maybe knowing that you're going to be missed will affect how you feel about dying, or not, and whether or not you put up a fight and if you'll be able to win. So yeah, there's also a really, really great line in here, probably the best line I've read all week. It's kind of a spoiler. I don't want to like where it comes up in the book is kind of a spoiler, but the line is Our Lady of Excellent Cleavage. It refers to Sonja. I'm not going to say under what context, but I just thought that line, A+, Gail Simone. What a great line. Probably the best single line in comics this week. So, yeah, Red Sonja 16, pretty good book. Death and all that. Fun, fun, fun. And the last issue this week, a long time coming, is the Sandman Overture, issue 5, the penultimate issue of this mini-series, which has gone on for 2 years now, way too effing long, but so worth the wait. This issue is kind of what I mean, a lot of people, I guess, were expecting from issue 1. This is Neil Gaiman, Sandman, peak form. Just peak, firing all cylinders, really kind of reinventing comic books or reimagining what the comic book could be in this issue. Very much like he did in the original Sandman run 25 years ago, or however long it was. Oh, geez. Anywho, we open with Morpheus, Dream, falling into a black hole, or he was in a black hole, I think, 2 issues ago. Last issue, he met his dad, and in this issue, he is catching up with his mom. And as you can tell just from the title page here, the art in this book is beautiful. I'm just going to flip through a couple more. Aside from Morpheus' story, we also have we catch up again with the war at the end of the universe, so the war at the end of existence, and we catch up with Dream, with Cat, Dream Cat, whatever. It is doing its best to save as many people as he can during the end of the universe. But yeah, the main crux of this book is Dream visiting his mom. And like a lot of the original Sandman run, like a lot of Neil Gaiman's writing, he takes this incredible, fantastic plot, this god meeting his own mother, the god of dreams meeting with the mother of the night, or I think something. She's like the personification of night, just as he is the personification of dream. These larger-than-life characters and circumstances, and making them so innately human. The first book was, the first Sandman run, Neil Gaiman described it as the King of Dreams must learn to change or die and makes his decision. It's about a guy stuck in his ways and having to learn that maybe he doesn't know best. It's a very human story. And a lot of Neil Gaiman's other work is like that, where he takes, these fantastic things with gods and demons and devils and immortals and stuff like that, but gives them such a human core. And in this single issue, it's about a boy who wants his parents to get back together. In this case, his parents, if they do get back together, will solve all the ills of the universe and bring peace and light and all that. But it's still about a boy seeing his mom, discussing his siblings, having a sibling rivalry, and just, having an awkward talk with his mom, and his mom telling him that, we're not getting back together. That's just how things are. It might fix all your problems. Of course, if you are the child of separated or divorced parents, they're separated for a reason, probably. I'm the child of divorce. Well, they're divorced now. They were separated for, I think, like a decade before actually getting a divorce, but they're divorced now. And initially, that's really all you kind of want, is you want your parents to get back together because, it's wrong for them not to be. They're your parents. And that's the story that Neil Gaiman's telling here with Sandman. Where you know, in the real world, it's like an emotional black hole. You know, you feel kind of trapped in this space between two realities, between your two parents. Dream's actually trapped in a black hole. He's in a literal black hole before being rescued by his brother Destiny because things are going wrong. But yeah, no. Why are comic books so personal this week, guys? I don't. First with DC reminding me of college, and now this with separated parents. Why this week did comics decide to like get all up in my heartstrings and whatever, man? But yeah, back to the fantastical. Just look at these pages. I'm just trying to like distract myself from the meat of this book right now. Yeah, just such a beautiful book, and we see this is Destiny's book where he can read the future and know everything that's happening, and Destiny's book turns out to be a comic book, and we can read it for the first time and see Destiny's perspective on everything. So once again, Gaiman and J.H. Williams III kind of reinventing just visual storytelling and how we see and how we read comic books, and doing it like so fantastically, so deftly. Just such artistic pages here. Really great stuff. Really, just honestly beautiful to look at. Just yeah, this is a hell of a good this is a hell of a good issue. I mean, it's hard to understand just as a single issue if you aren't familiar with Sandman. If you haven't been reading Sandman Overture at all, it's hard to jump right in. But again, as a single issue, it's just beautiful. It's emotionally fulfilling. It's visually spectacular. Every page is great. And it just works so well together. Everything in this book comes together and works in a way to deliver something really new to comics, really new and unique and important and just done impeccably. So I really can't recommend this enough. And again, if you haven't read the original Neil Gaiman run on Sandman, it's all in trade. I think there's like an omnibus collection of like 2 to 3 books or something. It's all in trade, like I said. I don't know if you can pick up Sandman Overture, all the previous issues, because this 6-issue series has taken like 3 years at this point to finish. But I recommend tracking them down and picking them up if you can. This will probably be released in trade when it does pick it up. But yeah, this issue, probably the single best issue released this week. Not the most like fun. Shazam was still the most fun, but this is just probably objectively, as close as you can get to an objective review, the best book this week. Yeah, comics made me emotional this week. Anywho, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like this video. If you want to see more of these every week, please subscribe. Any comments, questions, concerns, whatever, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And yeah, that's that for comic books this week. And once again, thank you for watching, and hope you'll join me next week for more comic books, hopefully less emotions.